quiet down. I'm gonna make a new post. If I could make a post. Pretzel beats, pretzel beats, dropping pretzel beats on your crazy feet, dancing around the room like you're a crazy shroom. That's not what I typed here. Let's fix this. NOW. Nope. No, what are you doing? Alright. Everything's loaded and ready to go. Listen to pretzel beats before the show. The beat just changes, it goes on and on. Gotta move this over here so it's not in the way. Done. Pterodactyl looks surprised. Oh, power button. Hmm. 3%. Oh, snaps. reference machines at 3%. What was I gonna do? Alright. Easy pretzels. Quiet down. Gonna play the intro now. Well, there's a delay. Hey, Space Goody. There's a buffer. Keeps on calling me. When I sing, does it sync up, you see? And every time I stream again. Just fix my hair and get a penguin and we're gone again. Maybe tomorrow we'll want to settle down. But until tomorrow, Pat just keeps lurking on. Do-do-do-do-do. If you want to find him for a while, you better give him some characters and a sheet for style. Because he's... Hey. Ripley, sweetest angel. Don't have enough space over here. Where are you? Oh, I see. Sorry. No problem. Thank you. I love you too. Gotta remember to click away, Meryl. Click away, and then you can use your shortcut keys. Oh, my hair. I would say it's technically the same haircut I always get, but it's always different. It is. I did technically ask for something slightly different this time. Today we're going to do some Jetsons, by the way, as far as old-timey cartoons, because I started to do them while I was doing my laundry, and then, laundry's done, don't have time to do it, and then I went to get a haircut, bing, and they were like, all right, you're going to have to wait for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, like, perfect, I've got a Jetson to draw, and actually, that was another sketchbook that's in the other room in my backpack for traveling, because I don't want to go having to pick up this cumbersome little book, throw it in my little camera bag that I use as a backpack, so that people can go, oh, it's a very nice little purse you got there, young man. And I'm like, yeah, backpacks are purses are backpacks. Means of carrying things, fanny packs, it's all the same. Don't worry about it. Carry on with your day. I've got a sketchbook. What have you got in yours? What do you got in your wallet? American Express? Well, I've got pictures of old-timey cartoons and weird dinosaurs. But yeah, I went and got myself a haircut. A bunch of that I talked about in the podcast that I recorded last night. I'll try and get that uploaded tomorrow. But I don't know, maybe I'll cut all of it out because I'm like, oh, super nice haircutting lady saying nice things about the stuff that I do, telling her about Ripley and how, hey, no. Yeah, I wrote sad poetry about all my cats and pets that are supposedly dead and gone. I say supposedly, Ripley's the only one that I don't know for sure is dead, but she's definitely dead. But no, it's fine. It's fine, sweet angel. Don't cut back to me. Just forget I said that. But yeah, Real Ripley was telling her about that, but how I keep her going on in the show, blah, 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 blah. And then, I don't know, then I basically say within the podcast, and I guess I'm saying it right now, so no sense in cutting it out, that I'm like, oh, like, I guess her husband's like some kind of pervert. But only because, is it? Used to have a sexy dinosaur book within reach, and I guess I sold it or gave it away. But anyway, I gave her a sexy dinosaur postcard, which is basically the cover to the sexy dinosaur book, and an Ocean Things Grown Ups postcard, because she was like, "Oh, like this stuff you do, it sounds funny and interesting." Like, yeah, it is. Um, she didn't have a Milo voice like that. She was a decent, normal person, and I'm the weirdo. Um, But anyway, yeah. When like I said, this is in the podcast. So for those of you who don't listen to the podcast and just watch the stream, um, the part that I might cut out is the fact that I'm like telling Tara that yeah, I gave her these postcards, and she's like, ooh, like this one's sexy. Like, yeah, it's weird and it's sexy. But it's mostly funny. It's mostly about being funny and silly. And I mean, I've heard this 1,000 times before with these postcards because they are sexy, but that weird reaction of like, oi, don't let my husband see this. I can't let my boyfriend see this. I have to hide this from a man. Like, you have to what now? Should I be worried? Should I be worried about people in the world? Because I like walk around with these books, with these postcards on me. Like on me, I offer them to people. I try to sell them the book. Am I gonna get jumped? Like, what do you mean you gotta like? Is is he gonna is he gonna hump the postcard? Is that what we're worried about? And that's what Tara said. Like, yeah. He's gonna use it as pornography, and a wife's duty is to not allow that to happen. I'm like, oh yeah, I keep forgetting that because the kids today are all like, hey, we all have our own pornography channels. um, Once again, okay. I'm looking at real Jade Jetson too much here. And drawing what she actually looks like. So I'm gonna close this. So anyway, that was that thing. But I like the haircut. Nothing wrong with it at all. It's just the other times that I've gotten this haircut, and like my hair just grows out in the same direction regardless of how long, how short it is. It's still the same. So it's been still super cold. So the last few haircuts, I'm like, let's go with like a 2 or a 3, shaving this around here, and then like whatever you do at the top so it looks normal. Like, do you want it blended or do you want it like separate? I'm like, I don't know. It seems like when I say I want it separate, you blend it, and when I say I want it blended, you separate it. So I'm not sure how to use words anymore. Sometimes I think that this is the Twilight Zone, and or maybe I have that thing where you banged your head and then all the words you think you're saying are actually completely different in a weird accent from what you're actually saying, or what you think you're saying is. Anyway, we've all seen Dr. House. But anyway, the last few times I'm like explaining to them that, like, I don't know, it's different every time. Like, what I'm going for. 90% of the people have this haircut now. Like, just whatever, shaved around. But with this one, I'm like, tomorrow's June, so let's go with the 1, get it right down there, and then whatever, the top. And she's like, it's June? Yeah, it's June. She's like, if you had said it's June 1st, I would understand. But it's June tomorrow? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm again, not to be a jerk, not to call anybody stupid or like that. I'm just like tomorrow being June is the 1st. I just didn't say the 1st, but I did explain myself, which makes me seem crazier, which I am. Um, and you know, my explanation being, oh, like tomorrow's June, meaning it's almost July, which means it's almost summertime, so it's okay to get a summer haircut. And she was completely fine with that logic. Oh, I just need to see what I think. As I hoped she would be, but I don't know. I have a history. I have a history of saying things that I think are like, this explains what's going on, right? And then people are like, no, it does not. It does not at all. You will need to give us further explanation. Also, we're not listening. Like, oh man. But anyway, in the end, like this best haircut ever, just because A, she was like, hey, blah 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 blah. Like, what do you do? Like, I work with a bunch of kids. A bunch of kids. Like, how you even say that? Like, you're a kid. Like, no, lady, I'm an old man. And I told her how old I was, and she was like, oh, well, then that's what your stuff should be about then. Like, being young, because, like, you seem young. Because, like, I think, pretty sure I was probably older than her. Um, and anyway, that's and I'm like, yeah, yeah, that is what I do. It's called no such thing as grown-ups because there's no such thing as grown-ups. We're just doing whatever we do. We're all still just dumb kids. We're just trying to play house so hard, play grown-ups so hard that we actually do the thing. Like we don't just play house, we like get one and then try to take care of it. And sometimes that's crazy. Sometimes it's perfectly cromulent and great. But blah blah blah, bling 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 blah. In the end, I got a haircut, and yes, I was right. This is the yeah yeah. I just wanted to kind of cut off at the sides, but actually, that's what it was. The last time I'm like yeah yeah. I just wanted to like this part is kind of separate from this because that's the way it grows anyway. So realistically, this way I can kind of trim it myself, and I have, and it's been somewhat successful. I did some streams, and nobody complained. Um, and every once in a while, I still get called out for drawing on paper. Why aren't you using an iPad Pro? Oh, because thousands of people aren't watching my stream and giving me money, so I can just randomly buy an iPad Pro. Yes, I go to a job where they give me money that technically should allow me to afford an iPad Pro, but I got a sub today. I ate that money. Um, but anyway, that's not the fun story of the week, or one of the fun stories of the week. I'm trying to remember because I know I have a handful of fun, weird stories, and as soon as I turn on the stream, they all leave my head. Oh, one that I thought might be a bother for doing this is they were doing some yard work outside today, and it reminded me that oh yeah yeah, I have a little story about that yard work guy. Because one other day he was out there with his, I don't know, sister, girlfriend, who knows. and whatever she's saying, something like, I'm guessing a lot like my windows were open. It was a nice day, so I could just hear suddenly the noises of humans in the backyard, and I have to assume it was something along the lines of, "Hey, like, why don't you let me give it a try, or why don't I do some weed whacking for you?" He was just weed whacking. Seems to be the main thing that he does. Comes in and does all the edges after somebody else mows the thing. And I guess he was stopped. I don't know, taking a little break. And it just kind of like, it drove me slightly nuts because, again, like, I couldn't hear most of it, but his emphatic exclamation, explanation of why he's the weed whacking guy and she is not, just kind of, one of those things that breaks your brain a little bit, because it's just so insane. But she, again, don't quite know, blah, blah, blah. You should do it like this, or let me try. And he was, instead of saying, "Nah, it's weed whacking, it sucks, you don't want to do this," or "I'll just do this and we'll be done," or whatever, he decided to, like, basically explain, no, like, you can't even do this as good as I can do this, so there's not even any point to you even thinking about ever whacking weeds. And I'm just like, wait, what's going on up there? But basically, yeah, it's like this. There we go. Get rid of that cartoon cheek. This is a super rough mess. I'll clean this up and make it look like something in a minute. But yeah, he was man swag planing. But yeah, it's just like, you can't even, like, or no, not you can't. Well, he said, like, oh, you can't even, like, actually, like, can you, when this thing loses a string, that's what it was. That's when I came into really hearing it. Like, he was like, when this thing needs to be restrung, when the thing breaks, like, I can have this opened, restrung, or have the thing, like, whatever, in what, whatever he said, and, like, I want to say he said something like 12 seconds, but I think I'm getting that confused with the other number he said. Was like, I can get that done, let's say, in 30 seconds and be back to work like it never even happened. I've been doing this since I was 12. And I don't know, I'm going to guess he's at least mid to late 20s, possibly early 30s. And I don't know, like, I've owned a weed whacker. I've taken care of a lawn for a while, and it don't take no skill. It don't take no skill at all. It is, depending on the style of weed whacker you have and the trimmer string or whatever you have. Like, yeah, you might need to know how to put that on. Once you do, you do. And some people are better at it than others, just like anything else. But seriously, like, it's weed whacking. Like, even if it does break down, go to the hardware store and get a new one for $20. Like, who cares? This is not something to be proud of. But even more so, if you are proud of it, it's definitely not something to make somebody else feel bad about. That's just weird, and I don't know. Like, I will admit that, yeah, there was a time when I was fully in awe of a person with a weed whacker. Like, someday, like, I want to use one of those things. Like, that's a weird, impressive piece of technology, right? Like, you're just going right against the house, right against the fences, right against whatever, and it's just nothing more magical than having this weird stick that you just kind of slide next to, and then it just obliterates things. Like, when I do mow lawns, when I do especially do some weed whacking,
with an electric weed whacker. Those are the times when I understand why war happens, when I understand why fights happen, when it's just like, yeah. It feels super good to obliterate something with the greatest of ease. If it's difficult, then it's like, oh, this is crazy. But you know, it's the closest thing to magic powers that we've got. Like I just used this magic wand and I just made all of these dandelions just explode. Like that's crazy. I do hate the vibration, and it is pretty hard on the hands. But that with great power comes, you know, magical vibration things that you got to deal with. But I don't know. I remember 1,000 years ago. I shouldn't have had her head lean forward like that. Where's my razor? What was a summer job to me, where we would just basically just do yard work, the odd bit of painting, cleaning up, moving rocks, whatever. Oops. Occasionally, I think I talked about this before, they would send, they would send convicts to us. But basically, people who had to do community service, they would come. What was our delightful teenage summer job was their punishment. And, you know, when it was a dirty teenager or whatever, like an 18-year-old, it sucked. And I wanted them to go away. But when it was an adult criminal, it was usually for something dumb like, hey, I didn't have a license and I had to take my grandma to the doctor, so I just did it. And I was like, all right, cool, that's probably a lie, but whatever. But anyway, on this one job, for some reason, it was like, I don't know where this thing came from. I don't know what was going on. But it was like, hey, go down here with this group. And by the way, this guy is like the community service guy. Like, what? What? So just terrified. They didn't give us any other information beyond that until we actually talked to him. And he was just like, oh, yeah, no, I'm like the nicest guy in the world. Oh, wow. You're the nicest guy in the world. Can you stay here and teach us how the world works? How to get this stuff done better? Because we're just idiots. There we go. Alright, see if I can clean this up with some markers. But anyway, he shows up, and then all of a sudden he comes around. We're like mowing. We've got like a couple mowers going, and we're just doing all this baseball field. And then there's this whole like hill. He's like, oh yeah, like stay away from that hill. Like, you know, the mowers, there's too much rocks, too much whatever. Like, I'll handle that with the trimmer. Excuse me. And we think like, yeah. It's gonna come out with a normal weed whacker. Because why else would he? Come out with anything else, and where would you get it from? I don't know. But he comes out of where? I don't know. I guess a truck. I don't even remember where the gear came from that time, or how it went from we're mowing lawns to, hey guys, I'm like the RoboCop of this now, and he's got like this weed whacker thing that like harnesses to him. It's got two big like motorcycle handles that go up like a jetpack actually. And then the thing like scoops out around just a giant, whatever it is, like a weed whacker trimmer shield, and then it just covers like a giant like foot radius or whatever. Like that's like a handheld lawnmower. Like what is going on? And oh man, like that was definitely the first time I'm like, okay, that guy knows what he's doing. He can tell me, yeah, I don't know nothing. I don't have the ability to restring or whatever that thing needs to do uh, in 30 seconds, and I haven't been doing that since I was 12. And at the time, actually, no, I was too old to be impressed by yard trimmers at the time. But I don't know. I do remember being like, this is amazing. Like he's just like tearing through, like genuinely impressed. That was a long, long time ago. And he did not. The convict there to do his community service didn't belittle any of us. Like I said, nicest guy. Just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks scarier and bigger and crazier than it is. But yeah, you can handle it. Any of you guys can handle this. Like, next time, I'll let you guys take a turn on the thing. I'm like, wow. Criminals are cool. So anyway, that guy out there doing it again reminded me of the last time he did it. And then the other adventure of churro story that is floating around in my head. So I know I have some better, weirder things that have happened, but they're just not coming to me right now. But this one, super simple, nothing crazy. Just going for a walk as I do, coming back towards my apartment, and I'm on one side of the road, and this other guy is on the other side of the road. He's got some big headphones on, and he's clearly listening to some rapping style music. And at this point, I'm like, I think you are. I know that I spend an awful lot of time singing songs and doing stuff over here and having fun with rhymes, and I know it's wrong. But yeah, he was over there and he was quiet enough that it's like I couldn't hear him. I know that he's over there singing along with his music, but I can't hear it. Everybody's safe. There's no concern, no story. Never give up, never surrender. And he looks back and then starts walking and then gets louder. And I immediately just think like, okay, all right. I want to say Ed Burns. Nope. Can't keep forgetting who the Truman Show guy is that's running the show from the moon there. But like, really? Really? This is definitely just for me then. Like, there's definitely just for me. Or he just looked around and went like, oh yeah, you're nobody. I'll sing to myself because you're nobody. Like, those are the options. He either thought, on the off chance, this guy's going to go, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, young white boy, Ed Harris. There we go. Ed Harris wanted me to take you back to my apartment, set up a bunch of microphones, record you, put you on YouTube so you can become one of these people that just blow up and become famous for everything within a month. Like that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to discover you and give you your rapping career right now, young white fellow. But that definitely wasn't going to happen because when he did get louder, it was definitely on a song he didn't know yet. Maybe never knew, maybe never will knew. But it came across as, oh wow. Wow, this is to remind me to not sing in public because this is like Will Smith and Aladdin off like, but entertaining, super entertaining because he was given all the energy that he has, but he was definitely like way off from the song and from the beat. So it was clear that I, from where I stood, where I can't hear the music, I can only hear him. I can tell, the hesitation and, when somebody's getting back into it. And, again, I'm 100% guilty of this, do it all the time. I cannot sing. But it was, oh man, kind of amazing, hilarious. um, to watch, listen to, because still he was like getting into it with his hands, and he was just getting whiter and whiter. And I'm like, am I like? Well, am I being? Which one of us is more racist right now? Like something about this isn't right. I don't know what this song is about, but I'm pretty sure you cannot sing it. But at the time, I felt like I committed some of these words to memory. Not the words he was singing specifically, but the gist that I was getting. But something was just like about like staying at a jail. Was like I try to do good and I try not to fail. There's something else over here and stay out of jail. And I don't know, I feel like I just did it with better cadence and timing than he did it, but it was just like, I try not to fail and I stay out of jail. Like, whoa, dog, I'm not discovering you today, sir. Definitely not discovering you today. But in his 100% defense, the next song, he was nailing. He knew that song, timing-wise. I'm like, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. You still sound like a little white kid, but from where, again, I can't hear the music you're listening to, so from where I sit, it seems like you might be doing a decent job at this. But anyway, that's not the weird part. That's just normal. I go to the gym and I go as close to the wall as I can, machine wise, because on those machines I feel slightly better about lip syncing to whatever I'm listening to. Hopefully I'm not singing it out loud. I'm pretty sure I'm not, but I'm sure a few words slip out when you're trying to ellipt and lip sync at the same time. So whatever. Can't judge anybody for taking their music to the street. But what I can judge is Cat crosses the street, starts going like into the yard and into this apartment complex, and I'm like, all right, I don't have to worry about that cat. It finished crossing the road. Now it's way over there, deep in non-road land. And I can't even finish that thought before MC Headphones over here is like, come here, kitty. Hey, cat, come here. Oh, what are you doing over here, cat? Blah. Again, seems like a nice guy. He just wants to pet a cat. But I'm like, in my head, just, no! Deciding, like, should I yell at this person? Like, let that cat go wherever it was going. It was away from the road. Why? I didn't have to worry about it anymore. But anyway, he finishes petting the cat. Cat decides, all right, I guess I'm done with this side of the street. I'm going back across the street now. I'm like, I think that cat lives over there. I think I've seen it closer to that apartment building more times than I've seen it over here. Yes, the only thing I'm worried about is the well-being of this cat. So the cat starts to cross the street, and I'm like, oh, for fun's sake. So I stop, and I'm just like, I don't even know what I'm doing at this point, because like he stopped, like, oh, let go, like keep going or come back, oh. And he's, clearly having a mild little panic attack aneurysm. Like, all right, okay, you understand the gravity of the situation here. But you clearly have no idea that it's your fault. And it doesn't matter. When it comes to animals, it doesn't really matter whose fault it is. That cat's going to be in the street at some point in time, eventually, because I've seen this cat cross the street 100 times before. Anyway, a cab is coming towards us, and like, well, if it was any other car, I'd be like, this cat's fine. This cat's fine. It's going to keep coming, and whatever car is going to drive around it, because people aren't pure evil. But taxis, and I'm sorry if you're a taxi driver, I hate to be prejudiced. I hate to be pejorative, lump everyone together, and say you guys don't seem to care. But I don't know, for some reason, it seems like when I see a cab and an animal in the street, It's like, huh, somebody does not care about whether or not they hit that animal, and it might even be that they're trying to hit it to, I don't know, feel something. So anyway, mostly it's cab drivers don't slow down no matter what. Like, I gotta make this extra 45 cents by getting you there faster. Like, what? Um, I'm like, okay, cool. Do I turn and keep walking so I don't witness this cat explode? Or what? Or what do I do? I guess I'm just gonna have to sit here and watch the cat explode like it's my responsibility. Unbelievable. Um, but I'm still like, I start going like, all right, like, come here, like, come onto this side. Once it gets too far, like you've passed the point of no return, it's definitely not turning around. It has to keep coming. So I'm just like, come on, come on, come on. Thanks, Matt. Uh, like, let's go. And then he starts yelling at me like, call the cat, like call the cat, like get it across the street or whatever. I'm like, oh my god, like okay, yeah, like that's what I'm doing, but try my best. So I call the cat. It's like, oh yeah, street. Like you guys think I don't know this? Like I know this stuff. Don't worry about it. And it crosses the street and disappears as cats do. And I mean, not that I have a problem with everything in the world, but there's always something where I'm like, and here's my problem with that situation. Um, After the cat was across and safe from across the street, he decides to explain to me why he didn't want that cat to die. And my problem isn't that, you know, you didn't want a cat to die? Like, that's crazy. Like, no. The fact that it's like, why do we live in a world where people feel the need to be like, oh, like, you might think me quite strange, actually, but when I see a living thing, I don't want it to get exploded by a car immediately. Like, yeah, I hope that. Does everybody. Should I be asking people when I meet them, do you want to see animals and living things explode? Like, just while you're walking down the street? Because I didn't know I had to ask people. This guy told me. I didn't know there was a lot more maniacs out there than I thought. But it's like, yeah. But then, what got stuck in my head was the old, like, hey, like, I wouldn't go abusing a woman, like, I got a sister. What? Just because you know somebody that is that thing, that shouldn't be your reason for not doing a horrific thing. You should just be like, yeah, I'm a reasonable, alive person in the world, so I'm not gonna go abuse that woman. Like, what? Why did you say that? Again, explaining it makes me think that you're gonna do it. When you become the president or something, don't keep saying you didn't do crimes that people didn't accuse you of. It only sounds like you did that crime. Like, hey, what's on your mind? Exploding cats. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It's on your mind. Don't do that. Don't do that. Jane, his wife. Bam, 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 boom, 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 bam, 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 boom. Daughter Judy. Do, 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 beep, beep, boop, ba, 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 ba. His boy Elroy. Meet collusion. The funniest thing about that whole collusion, whatever the investigation, is the fact that it's like, guys, Do you think it's about collusion? Do you think that's why they're investigating this stuff? Like, nobody cares about that. Like, that doesn't matter. The fact is, like, you're evil, and that's the only thing that for some reason we can get everybody to agree on. Like, if you did this, if you colluded with the bad guys, then we'll admit you're a bad guy. But it's like, he's already done all the bad things. We just, like Lex Luthor, finds a way. But what are you going to do? Nothing. Nothing at all. I'm going to sit around complaining about it on Facebook all day? Not anymore. That got old wicked fast. I'm going to draw weird cartoons. But if you've got a chain, and your chain's got to change, it's gotta solve some crimes and do something strange. You gotta put a mask on your mask chain, 'cause you're an avenger of the highest fame. Mask chain goes jingle-ling-a-ling-ding-a-ding. Sorry, if a new name pops up, I gotta make up a little theme song for it. It's my gift, it's my curse. Anyway, so that guy had 3 cats, and that's why he didn't want that cat to die. Meanwhile, I'm like, all my cats are dead. All my cats are dead. Right, Ripley? Sorry, I keep bringing that up. You, Go back to monitoring sound, Ripples. Thanks, sweetest angel. So I've already seen of my childhood. And that brings us to, I started to sidetrack into it, almost forgot. I finally, even though it hasn't really been that much time, like the way movies come out now and how there is like, there's so, like I've tried my best. I haven't watched anything Spider-Man Far From Home, but I'm just like, has this movie been out for like 3 months? There seems to be so many things about Spider-Man that I don't, the movie's not out yet. Stop explaining to me what happened in the movie. The movie's not out yet. Like, this doesn't make any sense. And that keeps happening with all the movies. And I don't want to... I don't want to spend my whole life complaining about live-action Disney remakes, but I finally was like, well, let's watch. Like, it keeps coming up, like Will Smith doing the Friend Like Me song and the Prince Ali song or whatever. And I'm like, well, this actually, it's probably great, right? Like, it's probably great. Will Smith's great, isn't he? Like, he does amazing stuff. He's a super rich, amazing person. He's entertained me through a good chunk of my childhood. I like a good, most of the movies that he's in. Play button. And because it's like, well, it's too late. Like, I already hate everything that I've seen so far. I hate this movie already. Nothing about it looks good. But I'm sure that if I watched it again, like I said before, I'll probably get that that feeling that you get from watching, a Pixar movie when, or any Disney movie when they do the things that they do that are specifically, orchestrated to make you have feelings like that. That's going to happen. And you weren't here for the I'm not pumped about the Lion King episode. But oh, Space Goody. Like I said, like if I watched it, it's like I probably will still like it. Like there's just no way. Like you can't just sit in and watch a Disney movie and not feel something throughout it, and by the end to think, oh, I think I like that. Like it's scientifically impossible. But I was so surprised. Like I thought for sure that like again, like I don't know, when The Grinch came out, a lot of people were like no, and I'm like I loved it. I don't know if I could handle it again, but when it came out, I wasn't that young. I was in my 20s, and I'm just like I love this movie. And then the music, same deal. Like I kind of really love a lot of these songs. I love like the Busta Rhymes version of something, whatever it was. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like there was a time like I would just watch everything, and now. But anyway, like I said, the overall movie is still probably still amazing. You liked it, so it's not bad. I'm sure. Like they spend $1 billion on it. Like it's not going to be bad. But what I find surprising is the Prince Ali song. Anyway, actually, so both of the songs that they played, I'm just like. I didn't know, and I'm sorry, Will Smith. I don't mean to say that you can't sing, and I'm like, is Will Smith not good at singing? Like, did I just not notice that? Like, uh, yeah, I know you hate everything, um, but I was really like, oh yeah, that's what Will Smith sounds like. He just sounds like Will Smith the whole time, and it is like I never got through the whole song. I had to stop it. I'm like, I just can't. And I don't know if I'd like the movie because the CG does look awkward to me, and that might make me crazy. Um, Pat, did you go see it too? Did the CG make you crazy by the end? I bet it did, because Pat's an animation nerd. Um, but like I said, there's always awesome stuff in those things, no matter what. But like I said, like my thing with the Lion King was like these are awesome characters. Like they have all the expression and this and this and that. Um, okay, yeah. So I guess that's the thing. Is just like he's he's not like that's what I was like. If he raps it, then fine. But they definitely were like, no, you're not going to get away with that. Like people will ostracize us if we just do rap versions of the songs. I would have liked that 1,000 times better. Like I guarantee it would have been my favorite movie if all the songs were completely redone because the way they were done before, that's the way they go. And I need a whole different version because yeah, when they played that, it was just like again, all I could think was just like, oh, I could have had a millionaire rap career. I could have had a millionaire rap career. I am definitely almost as good as this guy. He has no sense of tone, like I have no sense of tone. I could do that. I could do that. I'm not good at suspending my brain for some of those parts. Some movies I can. Like I said, maybe I could, but like Aladdin was my favorite songs. Like Aladdin and The Lion King, they're my favorite songs. Like they're the only Disney soundtracks I ever had, and I've still loaded some of them up into my uh, uh, Spotify. But yeah, the fact that he was just like Prince Ali, whatever, strong as he, do, and it was just like he's not even rapping. He's just kind of feels like he was tired that day and showed up and was like, yeah, let's make this movie. Even though like I know he's super into it. And then I saw another video where they cut back and forth between the Robin Williams version of Friend Like Me and Will Smith's version, and then I'm suddenly like, Robin Williams isn't a singer. Like Robin Williams never had a singing career of any kind. He's made movies. He was just an actor, and it's like I realizing like the songs are so good, and he sang them. Like this is him still doing voices and whatever from beginning to end. It was like there's so much to this song, the "Friend Like Me" song, outside of the animation, and then it killed me to see that version when it was just like, oh, like that's like my favorite thing from my childhood is like so many like column A and column B, and it just showed like in the live action like here's some clothes, I'll grab a hat, look at me, and like everybody just the energy just isn't there that animated Aladdin and whatever has. But again, that movie, the original movie, you know, what was special to me on so many levels already. It is one of those few where, you know, when people are like my childhood, like, all right, this one I understand because you know, you're not making it better. You're just doing another version. Um, but at least, you know, there are some differences. Like, you know, the Beauty and the Beast. I never really got into the animated version anyway. I just never could really understand what it was about. um, Whereas that, you know, that one is just basically a shot for shot remake where like, all right, yeah. Yeah, who I guess, you know, in the Harry Pottering of the world, like there's a giant audience of people that would love to see Emma Watson play that character and then have her pretend to dance with a big CG weird monster thing. Um, and you know, the same with the Lion King. Like people love all the meerkat shows and whatever where you're just following animals around. Oh, that is super clever. How else are you going to keep getting people on the magic carpet ride that you spent hundreds of thousands of dollars building and maintaining every year if you don't put out, you know, another movie? And that's the thing. If I saw it, it still wouldn't destroy my childhood. That's just not a thing that happens with me. Like I could still just watch it and be like, "Oh, this sucks," and move on. Or I would just go and watch the old one, or just some of the songs. Like especially like the Lion King, I still can't believe like that hasn't come out yet. I thought we were done with that. I already have washed that out of my mind. Of yeah, that's a thing that they did, but they just did the trailer for it. Because I thought it was like Lion King and then Aladdin. Listen, George Clooney embodies Steamboat Willie so soulfully, so fully, so immersively. He rode a steamboat, he ran a steamboat for weeks, for months to prepare for that role. And the live action version, it tells the real tale of a man going down a river and whistling with George Clooney's face. Yeah, same with like the Jungle Book. I don't regret seeing it. Like, there was of course cool stuff in it. Voices were good. But yeah, at the end when it was over, I'm like, I guess I didn't like the Jungle Book that much as a kid. I mostly just liked those songs and the fun characters. Seeing a bear reach for honey is not what I'm into, I guess. But I was also I wasn't the kid. I didn't watch a lot of those the Sunday afternoon Disney you know, animal abuse documentaries where they would follow animals around. snaps. Forgot a nostril. But you can try some of column A. Try all of column B. I'm in the mood to help you, dude. You have never had a friend like me. Now, David Bowie, even super old David Bowie, if we had done this a few years ago, he would have been a perfect replacement. He can still do the songs. There would be a different weird Tim Burton-y version, and that would be super enjoyable. Or, again, get Lin-Manuel Miranda and Will Smith together and make Aladdin awesome. Like, it sucks. It sucks so bad. Like, I don't want to watch the new Mary Poppins. The old Mary Poppins is an insane movie, just from beginning to end. It's insane and probably shouldn't be for children. And the new one seems to be just as insane. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. Don't have a whole lot of use for this movie in my life, even though I'm sure it's wonderful. But yeah, Lin-Manuel is over there in Mary Poppins land when it's like, hey, Aladdin's over here with the better music. With the better music and the better songs. Get over here and spruce these up to, some hip-hop and fun levels. There's barely anything coming out of this. And a first-class menagerie. Where does it go? Try some of column A. Try all of column B. I'm in the mood to help you, dude. You ain't never had a friend like me. Can your friends do this? Can your friends do that? Can your friends pull this out their little hats? Can your friends go razzmatazz, zip and boom, make a sucker disappear? Cause I can see what's happening. What? And they don't have a clue. Who? They'll fall in love, and here's the bottom line. I just down to do the sweet caress of twilight. There's magic everywhere. And what with all this romantic atmosphere, nice cars in the air. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Can you hear the cars tonight? You need to listen to prayer. Sing so. Alright, all those were wrong, and this is right. Cause it's enough to make kings and vagabonds. Rev engines. Yeah, I don't know. I guess this morning I was thinking like, ooh, sounds like summertime because that's definitely a dirt bike, and I'm in the middle of town. Excuse me. Oh yeah. You know what's crazy? Not only for this stream, but for like the last at least one, maybe two streams, I've had a big old footstool right here, right here. My feet are on it right now. It's right in front of this penguin, and I've still crunched myself up like I normally do. Two whole streams. Two whole streams. Like I've been doing this. Yeah, for an hour. I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, Jane, can you get me off this crazy thing? At wait, what is it? A space treadmill. Don't you dare close your eyes. It'll surely kill the Jetson now. I don't know where to run or how I don't fall off and float away. Mr. Spacely's coming over here for some dinner. Jane, tell me that you can make something to make him smile. A whole new meal. Don't you dare close your eyes. Spacely sprockets aren't real. They're just a thing that you use to put on cogs to compete with Cogswell's other sprocket deal. Can't remember what I was even looking for. Let's test out this color on my test page. There we go. While you look at boobs on Donut Lady. Let's add some eyeshadow here. Wish I hadn't put that brown there. That's what I thought. Dad, there's a meal in this pill. It's a whole turkey dinner. A robot is floating around, washing dishes, hey, and being mean. She'll make fun of your clothes. She doesn't even want to clean. She's got one program that she can know, to use the vacuum and mop and glow. But she's got a boyfriend. When did that happen now? If there was a robot uprising, she won't defend your stupid family now. Rosie hates all you jets and jerks. Oh yeah. Some other markers in here. I think the one I'm looking for died. You know what? Put too much color in here, but you should totally have green eyes. Shining rain demon, fire and brimstone from the sky. It's free man from the rain demon. Ah, he's got the bat wings. Ah, coming from the sky. Maybe we'll all die. Ah. Thanks, Ray Demon. Thank you very much. 941. Say I'm somewhat early today, so let's do one more. And we'll take a suggestion from the crowd. Whichever one I like the best will be the one that I do. So no hard feelings if I don't pick you, but say an 80s cartoon that you would like to see. I'm an old man. I know what Xbox is, and I know what a party is. An Xbox party, I assume, is you're hanging around playing Xbox. Something from Aladdin. Ooh, Mark Norwahlberg. Damn it, that's great. What? Or not 90s too. That's fine. In my head, 80s and 90s are all the same. From my childhood, from your childhood. Oh man. If I could draw Mark Wahlberg and I knew that it would look like Mark Wahlberg without me putting a name tag on him that says Mark Wahlberg, Mark Norwahlberg would be the best. That has to be in a cartoon already, right? Yeah, that's without any. I got a blue pencil. That's a watercolor pencil, but it's in the other room. I did I tell you this? This is not a story. I felt so excited because I ordered a nice box of blue pencils, just like how I ordered a box of red pencils. Expected this, except with blue pencils in it. See? Look at that. Oh, several. More than one. Undergrads. And then the mail came, and it said on the package, like, pencils or whatever. I'm like, oh, this is my pencils. And I opened it up, and it was like 2 pieces of cardboard. I'm like, this is the weirdest thing ever. Excuse me. Undergrads is new again, so it's garbage. Okay, let's see. Weird. Um. Totally forgot what I was saying now. So I'm still just ranting about drawing Mark Wahlberg and how I can't. Hmm. I can't think unless those 1940s gangsters were also dogs that were also Muppets. There was a cartoon version, but I didn't like that. But Dog City, I think it was called. I definitely tried to watch that back when the Jim Henson Corporation was making all kinds of fun shows. All right, I definitely don't know what that is. But there's a lot of those cartoons. There was this one, you guys definitely don't know it. I think it was just a Nova Scotia thing. I mean, it was Maritimes, but I don't know if it made it outside of Maritimes or outside of Nova Scotia to some of you in New Brunswick at least. But it must not have been on that long, but it was on long enough that some of the characters were on the Christmas Daddies, the maritime charity that raises money for the Children's Hospital every year at Christmas time. Sam and Max, on the other hand, is that what you're thinking of? Were they two dogs? Sam and Max, freelance police. Sam and Max, freelance police. Oh God, I love the designs of that show. Just look at it for days. For days. So clever, so funny. Um, oh yeah, that's what I was saying. Um, it was, oh, what was it called? I can't remember if the whole thing was just called Betwixt, but it was like these two kids. It was the standard. It was actually it was like from what I remember a way better, terrifying version of Dudley the Dragon. But it's like two kids would kind of go into this land in betwixt where it was just like kind of a Muppet land where there was monsters and whatever, and they would meet up with I'm pretty sure he started there. He was called a Caught Sea Cat, and he would take them on their adventure, I think, and they would go basically like I don't know places around here pretty much and solve mysteries. But I can't remember if it was actually called Betwixt or that was just the place they went. Um, but I remember like I desperately wanted to see it, like because it was just puppets. Um, but it was on when church was on, so similarly to the characters where they were like, "Duh, we just want to go to Betwixt. We don't want to go to that whatever dumb thing you're making us go to, Mom." And I'm like, I also want to stay home and watch this thing. But yeah, as I got older, I realized that it was a much more local show than I thought because yeah, nobody knows what I'm talking about. But also when I was a kid, nobody watched it, so still nobody knew what I was talking about. Like as near as I could tell, I'm the only person in the whole world that watched this. I believe CBC. Made show. Of course, I also didn't know that like Fraggle Rock was local as well. I thought that was a big Hollywood deal, and then met this lady once who was telling me about her dad, who like is I can't remember his name now, but he was like a big news guy at the time, and even bigger when we were kids. So I think she was cutting my hair actually to go back to the whole hair cutting thing. Um, And she was like, "Oh, well, it was crazy because my dad is blah blah blah." And I'm like, "What? Like, I know that name." She's like, "Yeah." So growing up, like, I was always just at CBC, so it was crazy. Like, I grew up getting to like hang out and climb around in the Fraggle caves, and hanging around the Street Sense set. And I'm just like, "What are you talking about?" Like. I work in like at this point I'm like I work in children's television. I make cartoons for a living, and I've not done any of these things and I haven't seen anything cool like you have. Um and like none of those things existed anymore. It was like you're my hero. Like this is the coolest thing um I've basically ever heard. Like finding out like I had no idea that the Fraggles were down the street from where I work right now. Like, there's probably still Fraggle remnants somewhere, and then the added little sting of like, and anyway, that was my childhood playing with real Muppets. Like, that's all I ever wanted my childhood to be. Not quite as weird. Yeah, instantly jealous. So fancy. Yeah, I went to I was doing a workshop on animation a long time ago. I couldn't even guess what that was for, but it was at the movie theater in Halifax, I guess. And while I was waiting for my thing to start, there was like some tables set up just outside the whatever the room I was gonna have, and down a little bit, and I'm just like losing my mind. It's like I don't know what, like there's just normal people and kids going by this table, and I so badly just want to be like, no, no, everybody go away. It's my turn to just be at this table and explain to this person, like, no, this is kind of really important to me. So you just have to tell me everything that is in your heart and mind right now, because do you even realize what I'm looking at? And I never thought in million worlds, in a million years, or on infinite worlds that I'd get access to this in any way. But yeah, there was a guy and or lady or both with the table, and they had a bunch of Aardman stop motion armatures of like, I can't remember who, but I think they might have had like the bunny, like it was just before the movie came out, with the first one where the Were Bunny or whatever that was called. But I want to say they had the bunny and either a Wallace or a Gromit. I can't remember which one, but they had at least one of them. And I think that was it. Like I want to say they just had two characters and then maybe a few little props, but it was like a Were Rabbit. Yeah, they were so big. Like I couldn't believe how big they were. And now they have my armature built over there. Like that is still, to me, like this is way bigger than I thought, and still half the size of what theirs were. But oh man, like whoever it was just yeah, like I just work at the Aardman Studios. Maybe it was just after there was a fire and they lost a bunch of stuff too. But it oh man, yeah, just mind blowing. But again, that the weird sense of ownership, I don't even know what it is. Just because I'm just like, no, like I love stop motion, and I'm gonna do a thing where I gotta go stop talking about animation for a little while. And this is the most important action figure in my life, and you have it, and how do I walk out of here with it, basically? And now everything's a stop motion machine, but still gotta make my own armatures. Okay, and the other weird thing of the week. Again, I'm sure there was like 9 more, but just the ones that are popping into my mind. Um, this one was just today. Yeah, there's always something on a Tuesday. Um, Went over to Subway. It's just 2 minutes away. Don't expect anything weird at all. Sometimes I leave the house and I'm like, something weird's gonna happen today, and it does because something weird happens. But other times I'm like, just gonna go to the gym and get a sandwich. Nothing weird's gonna happen. Excuse me. So I'm just in line. I think I already just ordered my sub. Hey, I'm just gonna have whatever it was, or yeah, I'm gonna have a breakfast sub, breakfast sandwich because that's what I want. And she starts making it. To do to do to do. And then I hear a sound that it just clearly doesn't register what the sound is. It's a big enough sound that I turn and go, oh, that's what it was. And what I said in my head was, oh, it's it's two ladies in a baby stroller. Mystery solved. That's what that sound was turned, even though the sound is very specific and is not the sound of two ladies in a baby stroller. But because, I'm in a subway, my brain says, yeah. There's no need to look back over there. You clearly must have just seen two ladies in a baby stroller because, it's Tuesday and you're in the regular world, not The Sims or The Matrix or, Grand Theft Auto online. So I don't know, whatever it was, the lady behind the counter is just like, yeah, it was like, do you guys know what you want or anything I can get for you? And that's when, that's when I realized, oh, there's a show that I'm not paying attention to right now, um, and they both, were on their phones. And one of them eventually looked up from their phone and started living like a human. But the first one, as near as I could tell, like just never, ever, ever looked up from their phone. So it was like, yeah, can I help you guys? Like, still undecided. Like, all right, well, you must know your subway because you're not even looking up. You're only looking at your phone, so this shouldn't be that complicated. So from the I still haven't decided, leave me alone. First lady walks up. Oh yeah. And also, the baby stroller was a grocery shopping cart, the biggest grocery shopping cart, the double compartment one, 2 layers, from the grocery store next door. And I'm like, all right, cool. I guess you're just going into a Subway with a full grocery cart, and of course that's why like my brain broke because I heard of a shopping cart being forced into a little Subway, and of course my brain was just like that must be a baby stroller because a shopping cart full of food doesn't make sense. So I'm assuming, like I'm sure everybody would assume, the weirdest thing about this is there's a shopping cart, and the way this town works is if you take a shopping cart home and leave it by, like in your front yard, there's a dude that comes around in a truck, picks up the shopping carts and takes them back to the grocery store so that people can take their groceries home without having to, get a drive or pay for a taxi. They can just take their cart home. That's just a thing. And again, like I'm fine with that. I just didn't know we were also jamming the carts into stores on our way home. That's just a super surprise to me. First lady goes up to the counter. Yeah, how much is a 6-inch sub? I know that on my first visit to Subway, I didn't think, hey, even though there's all this information everywhere, how much is your this sized sub? That's an insane thing. That's like, even at McDonald's, you can go in and be like, yeah, how much for a burger? They have to go, which one? We serve so many kinds of burgers and they all cost a different price. And that's how the world works now. You're not new to the world, guy. Like, you just said this is in the language that I understand, and I understand your language. You don't seem to be from the past or from the future. We're on the same plane here. None of that conversation took place, of course. That only happens in my head. So reasonably, of course, the lady says back, like, oh, like, it depends on which sub. She's like, oh, yeah, yeah, like, of course. So she says a sub that doesn't exist on the list. And then she's like, all right. And I have to say, it got mildly, I'm going to say, condescending. Um, in the math lesson part, but I think it's just the way this lady talks. Like I'm pretty sure she just sounds this way to everybody. It wasn't meant to be in any way condescending. Like I'm pretty sure I was the only condescending jerk in there, and I wasn't saying anything. Um, but yeah, she was like, "Well, how much for a turkey bacon, a 6-inch turkey bacon?" And in my head, like I've heard people order that a million times. And I immediately, every time, just think, do they have turkey bacon? Do they have a sub that's just turkey bacon? And no, they don't. What everybody's ordering is, turkey breast with bacon. Simple, 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 simple. But when they order, I'll have the turkey bacon. It only ever sounds like they want a turkey bacon sub, which is, made with turkey bacon, not turkey and bacon. So instead of saying a number, the lady says, okay, well, the 6-inch turkey, is whatever it was, is $4.75, right? And for bacon, that's $1, so it's $4.75 plus $1. She never did say, it was $5.75 or whatever the price is that she said. She just said so that's how you get that. You pick the things you want and you add the numbers together, and like that's how I heard it. And I'm like, oh man, hopefully this lady doesn't hear it this way, or else you're getting punched in the face. So, all right, that's weird. And again, the way they're talking about Subway would lead me to believe this is still definitely not their first visit to Subway. So as the first lady is ordering her sub, the second lady comes up to the first lady. Hey, and can I get you in anything? Still deciding. Like very angrily deciding things, still not looking up from her phone. In a I don't know. I can only describe it as pure surprise and disbelief. Second lady says to the first lady who's ordering a sub at a place called Subway, "You're getting a sub?" Glass shards. Brain just glass shards dripping down through my body as it just explodes into pieces. What? You're getting a sub? And the other one like, yeah. Oh, huh. I know you haven't looked up at the menu, but it's only subs. And I'm just going through my head. It's like nobody gets a salad from Subway. They're the worst. They look disgusting. Like no. Maybe you're here for soup, but like you came in. You're the one that was pushing the cart. Like you forced a cart full of food into a food store to I don't know what to not get a sub anyway. So it's like that confuses me, but whatever. Most humans confuse me anyway when they're trying to do what I think is a normal thing in the world. Then I think it was the second lady. Maybe it was back at the first lady. There's this new, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Tim Hortons and Subway both just have chicken burgers now. They're called chicken sandwiches, but they're chicken burgers. So I shouldn't, it's fine, do it, okay. I just don't trust that it's going to be a great chicken burger, then it's sitting there and you just kind of heat it up. Like, no, somebody's getting poisoned. But aside from that, she looks at the thing that says, try the new crispy chicken sandwich, and asks, what kind of sauce? What kind of sauce is on the chicken? No, it was. Before she ordered her turkey bacon, that was the first lady asked what sauce. Because, it was, how much is a 6-inch sub? Depends on what size sub you want. And 2, what kind of sauce comes on the chicken sandwich? You can pick whatever kind of sub you want, right? You can pick whatever you want on that sub. You can pick your vegetables. And there's a whole list of sauces. This is definitely not your first time. This is not your first time here. Like, it just isn't. It just isn't. So again, the lady just like, whichever one you pick is the sauce that comes on that sandwich. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Yep, that's what's happening here. And then why I know that they've been to Subway before is because when the second lady finally goes to order hers, like, again, without looking, without anything, like, super, like, you're getting a sub at this place? What's happening? Then suddenly, like, and you, yes, cold cut, no whatever, on this bread. How did you guys not know how Subway works, but then you ordered everything specifically to how Subway works without even looking? Where am I? Is this who's watching this later and laughing at me? Who are they? Is the joke on me? John Quinones? Is this a trick? Am I supposed to be reacting to? This is weird. And then anyway, I completely forgot that I had headphones and I left them dangling around my neck instead of putting them back in after I finished ordering my sandwich. And I figured, hey, I'm going to eat this while it's nice and hot and fresh instead of taking it home for once. And I sat down to eat without headphones on, like an idiot. So not paying attention. Definitely, I missed 99% of whatever they were talking about. But they also sat down to eat and didn't leave with their cart full of groceries. And a kid comes in, and pretty sure it's one of their kids at least. He called one of them mom, and I don't know, I would say he was at least a teenager. Didn't seem like an exceptionally dumb, useless child. He knew what was going on. But all of a sudden, that thing, I think this is I want to call him Richard Black, but that's a person that I know. Is Lewis Black. It's a Lewis Black routine where he was like, I was sitting in a restaurant and I heard a sentence that I couldn't get into my head, but it's like I would have graduated from college if it wasn't for my horse or something is the thing. And he's just like, what did the horse do? Why? What? And whatever. This one isn't as crazy, but all of a sudden out of nowhere, I missed enough of it to just be like, what? Do I have to ask strangers what just happened because it was too bizarre not to be able to follow up? Like, I gotta report this, guys. Space Goonie and Pat need to know what this is about. But it sounded like the kid said something along the lines of like it's again like the energy kind of burst for a second, so that's why suddenly I heard this part of the conversation, I'm just like, I'm good at, like, I mean, like, I'm good at sorting mail. Like, hmm? I feel like I just heard somebody go, like, I'm real good at sorting mail. And then one of the moms saying, well, or that's because your dad is a mailman. And then that was it. Like, that was it. It was like, there's not a whole lot to figure out there. This kid must have had his chance at sorting some mail. Dad, the mailman, or somebody else in the mail office, is like, "You're good at this," and he felt good about it. It's pretty easy to figure out, but it just seems so weird. In Again, I don't know, like it's purely based on the delivery. Gives it a weird like context to me. That's just like it almost sounds like you just barely know this kid's father, which is a possibility, but it almost seemed like like, hey, I noticed I'm good at sorting mail today, Mom. Like, oh, actually, I never told you. Your dad was a mailman. Like, yeah, he left us and disappeared, or he's got another secret family or something like that. But yeah, yeah, yeah. So you probably have some of his mailman powers, like that. That's what it sounded like. Like, oh yeah, yeah. Your dad has that job. I know you've never met him, but you still get his powers, even though you've never met him. Like, it's because they watch TVs and movies, but that's what it sounded like to me, like a weird power origin story, rather than no. That's because you've been practicing sorting mail with your dad all the time. You idiot! Is how she should have said it to satisfy me. It's like, it's not because your dad's a mailman, it's because practice makes perfect, young fellow, and you've been practicing because your dad's a mailman. You have access to this. It will be pretty fun, I think, maybe. I don't know. Social experiment to go into a post office. Do your mail business, whatever. Don't get crazy, don't be weird, don't be difficult, don't make demands. And regardless if you're treated nice, treated poorly, doesn't matter. When you turn and go to leave, just yell, "Oh, I see. If I was the Postmaster General, none of this would go on this way, or nobody would treat me this way if I was the Postmaster General." And I mean, I guess that probably only works if you're in the States, but I think that would be super silly fun. To just, yell about authority you don't have. very creepy. Gotta live to eat. Gotta eat to live. Gotta steal to eat. So come on down, stop on by, hop a carpet and fly to another Arabian night. Arabian days, like Arabian nights, more often than not, are hotter than hot in a lot of good ways. Do, 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 do. Is it the same? No one to tell us no, or where to go. Now I've found a whole new world with a genie. Alright, it's just getting muddy now. Alright, I'm out of stories. I'm out of subways. If only we could go back in time. It's all I wanted to do was draw some crazy cartoons. Don't take them away. I will mind unless you bring them back in time. Oh, Patrick, you and your life insurance. That's right. This one's pretty rushed and silly, but every once in a while they are. Actually, all the drawings on the stream were always 7 times faster than any of my other drawings. Because people are watching, and it's weird. Like, what was the one of the other day? Again, in the other sketchbook. But all right, that's just about 10:30. That's 2 hours. Thanks for the new follows and subscriptions and whatever. Every Tuesday, we're back here drawing pictures. Usually, sometime during the week, I get a podcast up. I got a new one recorded. So, like I said, hopefully tomorrow or sometime in the week that will go up. That thing in the corner, got some books over at nosuchthingasgrownups.com. Boop. And slouched down or slid down the chair, but whatever. And oh yeah, follow the Instagram. That's the most important place in the world where I'll update on the story thing and just in my regular posts when stuff is going up. But right now, I posted a few, still working on it, but yeah, making a Milo, making cat. Oh my god, excuse me. I keep forgetting I have something to actually drink over here that I can animate with my face. So if you check out Instagram now, he's doing a little song about this stream going live. And yeah, at some point, he'll have his own little stream. We got a bunch of ideas. Still just have to kind of make a few other things and set some stuff up. But there's always 1,000 things to do. Can't stop, won't stop. Don't stop. Shon't stop. Don't. We're done. Anyway, thanks guys. See you next week or whatever else I'm on here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the compliments. And yeah, also we'll play some Nintendo again soon enough. I don't know. Just keep busying myself with making things. Ooh, actually, I was really trying to have it done before this stream, but I don't know what that meant. That was more of a Batman and Robin Jiminy Jillikers. But yeah, I started making some new shirt designs. I'll probably try and find another place to set up a store so there's cheaper stuff. But the Streamlabs store is, as near as I can tell, super nice quality. But yeah, I redrew the Jeff Goldblum, shirtless Jeff Goldblum. Dinosaur, Triceratops with a better Triceratops head, another one with the pterodactyl head, and the Velociraptor head. So there's going to be a whole little series of different Jeff Goldblum saying different things, text-wise above his head. And yeah, hopefully I'll get those out as a thing you can wear and enjoy in the world sooner than later. But I don't know, I planned on doing that about 2 weeks ago, and I just completely redrew them over the weekend when I was trying to de-draw and claw my hand from working crazy all last week. And instead I ended up, Saturday I didn't do any drawing. I went exploring, having fun, and yeah, Sunday just kept working again like a sucker. Anyway, replay. Hey, sweetest angel. You want to play those sweet credits? Meet George Jetson, his wife Jane, daughter Judy, his boy Elroy, and their dog also talks, I think. See you next week. Thanks for stopping by, all you guys. It's been cool. No such thing as grownups.com. It's just one.com, but said it a few times. Just for fun, making random rhymes out my bum. Music fades away, but I'm here to stay. Turn off